No long intro. Weekly trading review and lessons. Now, to open this week's mind map, we have a quote from Nietzsche. He says, "One has to test oneself to see that one is destined for independence and command, and do it at the right time. One should not dodge one's test, though they may be the most dangerous game one could play, and are tests that are taken in the end before no witness or judge but ourselves." Now, this morning I was reading Nietzsche's book Beyond Good and Evil, and I have the copy somewhere around here and on my desk. And this quote seemed quite fitting for today's video, mainly because ICT mentioned this in his Twitter space yesterday that I was on, and I was listening. He mentioned that a lot of traders are sabotaging themselves right now, because in the end, trading with the real money is the most dangerous game you could possibly play. And because there's no witness, there's no judge, there's no one looking over our shoulders when we're pressing those buttons, we can do quite irrational things. And he mentioned this as a warning for some of us because of the insane amount of volatility that's been picking up in the markets over the past few days. And it's set to get better, apparently, and we have elections coming up, so the markets may or may not get a little bit more volatile. So he urged a lot of us to be more careful and actually control ourselves, just like he almost lost control himself yesterday. And that's for reasons, if you were in the Twitter space, you can understand. We don't necessarily have time to talk about all of it here. Now, for me personally, this week has been one of those weeks where I only took about 3 trades. And let's take a look at that. And then we'll talk about one of the main lessons from this week. And I think a lot of you may find this to be beneficial, perhaps better than all the other videos. Now, for this week's trading, I took 3 trades. That's really my average. The prior week, it was non-farm payroll, and I really didn't find any setups last week, so I took 0 trades last week. Now, to open the trading week for me on Monday, I had made a mistake, and it cost me. It cost me about 1% of my funded challenge, that is. So no harm, no foul, but in the end, it still cost me. I checked the economic calendar. I thought everything was good, but turns out it was a bank holiday. Not sure how that evaded me, but that was my own mistake, and I am holding myself accountable to it. Although there are no witnesses, there are no judge to judge me based on my trades, but I understand that it is my job to be my harshest judge, my harshest ideal. Now, that trade itself is simply a bad trade. Let's say I had a couple before and after screenshots here. And you see this here, we have the buy limit. This trade isn't my typical setup. I deviated from my actual setup and I paid the price. Scroll down here, you can see how price just traded through it, took my stop, and that was the end of that. And right about when that trade hit stop loss, the self-doubt, the negative self-talk, the insecurities, the fear, everything started to kick in. I started to ask myself, oh man, can I really do this? Very typical. Although now I'm getting a lot better at handling those emotions and being indifferent to them like a stoic is, you know. One of the core principles of being a stoic is understanding that you don't control what happens, so you simply control what you do afterwards. And that's one of those examples. Now, my turnover time when it comes to having some of those mental hurdles after a losing trade is a bit less than it used to be. Now, I think right about this trade, I spent maybe 15 to 30 minutes, you know, feeling down. When I checked my phone and I saw the trade hit stop loss, I was like, oh, that's a bummer. And it lingered for about 30 minutes, the loss. And then I went about my day. I forgot about it really for most of the day. It still lingered a little bit, still hurt, but in the end, it's only 1%. I'm fine with that. And I ended up coming back during Tuesday London Open and made 2%, or a little bit over 2%. We have the screenshots here. We have the buy limit before. This is actually a beautiful setup. And we'll talk more about this setup. We have the after right here. So very beautiful trade. And this beauty is from today's trading, Friday New York Open. Have the limit here. This trade itself had less than a pip in drawdown. My entry was at 97,100. The low on the candle that triggered my entry was 97,091. So 9 pipettes and drawdown. Absolute beautiful entry. Although on the surface that may seem good, that of course it is. It's great. I'm happy. But let's take a look at the second trade. Now, I'll show you guys one of the things I've been wrestling with. The second trade right here. This was my entry. And one of the things I've been struggling with is holding on to my positions for my actual targets. And the reason why I'm struggling with this is because I always end up closing my trades prematurely. Not sure how many of you guys struggle with this, but this has been a big hurdle for me. This has hurt me more than some of my losses. Very often times for the past year, I've closed trades at 30 pips in profit when my original target was 150 pips. And just looking at price trade in my favor, never even turning back around. And I closed the trade because I was scared. Because of those self-doubt, because of fear. And I believe that a lot of that has to do with the past and having trades turn against me in the past and being mentally scarred because of that. And now I simply can't let myself do it. I really can't. It's a big hurdle for me. I'm not sure how I'm going to fix it. I actually reached out to ICT a while back. I tweeted at him asking him, how does he deal with the frustration that comes when you close a position too early because you're simply scared. You're uncomfortable in the trade. You know it's a good trade, but you simply can't hold on because of your negative self-thoughts and your negative limited beliefs. And let's check here. See, this trade itself, it was a beautiful trade. Sell side liquidity taken. I believe this was, yes, this was London Open. Have displacement here, fair value gap, entry in here, boom. I closed this trade right about here, about 26 pips. Although my original target was around 35 pips. Now, on the surface, that's no problem. I still made money, and I'm very happy with that. But let's take another example. Now, this is this morning's trade. This was our drawn liquidity. This is buy stop, but buy stops are here, also here. Now, markets take sell side while trading into a 4-hour order block. Not only trading into a 4-hour order block, this is a 1-hour fair value gap. And this is where I had my entry where it had less than a pip in drawdown. And then I added my full on position in here inside this fair value gap. And we have had a 3 drive pattern in here. Although the 830 line that's delineated kind of messed that up. You can't see it, but you can see the wick on this candle. Price traded into this fair value gap 3 times, which was a really good confirmation for me because at the time I wasn't necessarily sure whether or not the trade was going to go my way because of this fair value gap. I still entered. I still believe this should go higher, but seeing this fair value gap, I was wondering if the market makers were willing to actually take it lower once more before that initial push up, and they didn't, and I'm very happy with that. Now, where do you guys think I closed this trade? Target was 85 pips, and I closed this sucker at 28 pips, simply because I'm scared. I mean, I'm in these trades, I'm just scared out of my mind. I really can't. And usually one of the things I've noticed in my trading is it's right around that 25 to 30 pip mark where I simply can't hold on to trades no more. I really can't. And the only time I hold on to a trade for 50 pips or more is when I actually leave my computer and go do something. And then I'll come back and I'll be surprised that my trade is, going my way. But if I'm actively looking at the charts and managing the position, right around 25 pips, I just can't take it no more. All these self-limiting beliefs, negative self-talk, just the fear, the anxiety that this trade is gonna turn against me, just forces me to close it. And I know some of you may be thinking, well, you can just take partial, Chris. Yeah, right. I imagine I actually did take partials on here. I took partials right in here, and my stop loss was at break even, so no risk at all. But guess what I did? I was like, no, I just can't do it. I simply cannot let myself do it. It's a big mental hurdle for me. I cannot let myself do it. So I took out my phone again and closed the whole thing off, and boom, 5 minutes later, it prints this candle, and then boom, 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 85 pips. Now, mind you, I'm taking a FTMO challenge, phase 1. This trade, 85 pips, I had a $10 lot in here. That's $8,000, roughly. I was already up a couple percent on the account, so that should have passed the challenge right there. But instead, I closed at 28 pips. I mean, it's one of those things that you can't necessarily teach someone. I can't make these things up. These are just things that actually happen in my live trading. I've had trades like this. I mean, most of my trades look like this. This is my one shot, one kill. Believe it or not, the reason why I only take 3 trades a week usually is because I'm a one shot, one kill trader. I don't need 5 trades a week. I only need 1. And this one was the one. But what did I do? Self-sabotage. I just cannot let myself win because of fear. The mental hurdle. And this is one of the things I'll be working on. And I've been working on for the past year or so. And let's go back to our mind map. This is the profit, and you can see this was the losing trade earlier on this week. The first trade we took. This is the second one. So notice how I took partial. Now I took another partial 3 minutes later. I took this partial, saying to myself, all right, it's at break even. I'm gonna let this run. The minute I saw this one go up another $100, I was like, I can't take this anymore, and I closed it. It drives me nuts, and this is the same thing here. I just close the trades. It bothers me that I do it, and I'm ashamed of making mistakes like this, because I have big trades every week that I just cannot let myself enjoy. Why? That remains a mystery for now, and we'll dissect this throughout our mind map here. Now, let's take a look at the lesson. We have a quote here from Marcus Aurelius. He says, your mind will take on the character of your most frequent thoughts. Souls are dyed by thoughts. Now, he said this in Meditations, one of my favorite books. And I do notice that to be true. It happens in my trading. Every time I put on a trade, although I get scared of my winners, but usually I have winning trades. I'm a 70% strike rate trader. And all I think about is having winning trades. And most of the time, I do have winning trades. And those positive thoughts that I have about my trades usually pan out. But what I'm doing on the other hand is I'm self-sabotaging myself with this self-limiting beliefs that if I hold on to this trade, it's going to turn around and hurt me. Now, what can I do to prevent that from happening? Well, this is one of the things I've been thinking about, and I came up with an auto suggestion, and I'll be doing this for the next few weeks or so until I've fixed this issue in my trading, because this is costing me. And mind you guys, I have another week, I think, for the challenge. I'm up 50%, I think, about roughly 6%, so 6,000 on the challenge. I need another 4 or so. So next week, I really have to find some quality trades to make that happen when it should have just happened today. Although I'm very grateful to be even able to do something like this. Now, mind you, I don't know a lot of people who can do this outside of ICT and some of his students and my comrades. I don't know someone who can actually get an entry on here on top of this hourly fair value gap and have less than a pip in drawdown, and then add his full position in this and have less than I actually added my $10 lot right in here. I had less than 2 pips in drawdown in here, and then price traded 85 pips my way. Not a lot of people can do that. So no matter how upset I may sound about my trading and my flaws as a trader, this is something I am very grateful for. I never actually blame myself. I never tell myself I'm not good enough. I simply fear my own trades because I've been hurt before. I've held on to trades when I was younger, thinking that I know the markets should do whatever I want, and it's hurt me and it's cost me before. And because of that, I think that's why now it's very hard for me to get over it, because I've been hurt so many times because of it. So now I have to manually go in there to my subconscious mind and make it understand that, no, I don't need to do that anymore. I don't need you to protect me anymore. I actually know what I'm doing now. So to end today's mind map, I have an auto suggestion for you all. And I'll be reading this to myself every day when I trade. It says, "Isn't it wonderful? I already am the trader I seek. I simply need to open my eyes to the truth. I'm profitable. I'm disciplined. I'm able to hold on to my positions for my true objectives. There's no need to worry or fear holding on to my positions, because I know Jehovah already knows everything I want and need. I need only to submit to time and hard work, and the world will be mine." Now, I wrote this morning, and just as I wrote it down, I felt like I was in a state of flow, which flow is when challenge meets skill. And this is a great challenge to have. Challenging myself to hold my positions, to trust my analysis, now that I actually have the skill to go hand in hand with it. It's going to be a beautiful process. It's going to be wonderful to see how this plays out for the next few weeks and few months into my trading. And you guys will actually get first class seats to watching how this unfolds. Now, isn't it wonderful is a really good statement, because it automatically puts you in a state of mind that is blissful, peaceful, because of the word itself. And it links directly to your subconscious mind, because wonderful is one of those words. Nothing bad can be wonderful, right? And I said, I'm already the trader I seek. And what trader do I want to be? Well, I want to be the trader that holds on to his positions. The one that doesn't sabotage himself like I've done today and have done in the past. I'm already that trader. I already know how to get my one shot, one kill. All I had to do was hold on to my trade 15 more minutes, and I would have made $6,000 more. To be able to say things like that, to be able to have a skill that can do something like that is insane. I couldn't imagine doing this 2 years ago, and yet here's the kind of issues I'm having. That's a very good problem to have, guys. A very good problem to have. And for that, I'm grateful to Jehovah, because he already knows everything I want and need. All I need is to submit to time. Time will tell everything. And the work ethic is next to none, and that's why I'm able to perform at such a high level, even though I have my own flaws, my own character flaws. But I understand that's simply part of my trading, and that's simply part of my journey. Started trading back when I was 16. And believe it or not, guys, I'm a bit younger than you may think. I'm 19 right now. So this has been a wonderful journey to be able to predict markets like this, like the price action, to be able to read price as well as I've done over the past few months is a skill I am forever grateful to Jehovah himself, and of course ICT, who he used as his vessel. Let's take a look at the auto suggestion again. I'll read it one more and we'll close today's video. It reads, "Isn't it wonderful? I'm already the trader I seek. I simply need to open my eyes to the truth. I'm profitable. I'm disciplined. I'm able to hold on to my positions for my true objectives. There's no need to worry, no need to fear my trades turning against me like it's done in the past. Because I know Jehovah knows everything I want and need. I need only submit to time and hard work, and the world will be mine, and I will pass my FTMO challenge." Now, auto suggestions like these, you can read them day and night, and they really put your mind at ease. Now, I do suggest you guys replicate something like this, and you put something like this together for yourselves, or whatever it is that you may be struggling with in your trading. Creating an auto suggestion can help with that. And understanding that feeling is a secret. And I've mentioned this before from Neville Goddard, but feeling that you're the trader that you want to be is a big key. And right now I'm in a flow state of mind where I feel like if I took a trade right now, I could hold it for my true objective. Although that feeling wasn't the same this morning. But I'll keep working on that myself and keep working on it until I've mastered it. Because at some point, I wasn't disciplined. I wasn't profitable. I worked on all these things. I created auto suggestions for all these things, and I've conquered those fears. I've conquered being not disciplined and taking too many trades, trading during high impact news events, trading with no stop loss. I mean, I've done it all, especially because I was young. I was young, taking my paychecks from my minimum wage jobs and just blowing it in 2 days. I've done it, and I've conquered those fears. And now, as a stoic, I need to be indifferent to having losing trades. I need to be indifferent to fearing my trades going against me when I know they shouldn't. Now, I do hope you guys find today's video helpful. Surely is for me, having somewhere to vent to and being able to put these mind maps together and to organize my thoughts. And remember our quote from earlier from Nietzsche. He says, "One has to test oneself to see that one is destined for independence." That's exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm testing myself. None of those trades were signals from someone. The issues I'm having right now are unique to me and my psyche. And I'm doing this at the right time. I'm having these issues at the right time. And I'm not dodging those tests. See here, one should not dodge one's tests. Though they may be the most dangerous game one could play, and are tests that are taken in the end before no witness or judge but ourselves. I'm not dodging none of this. I could have easily just went on and told you guys, yeah, this is my trade. I closed my trade, blah, blah, blah. I have no issues. I'm the best trader ever. But I'm not dodging that. This is a test for me. This is a hurdle for me. This has hurt me more than my losing trades. Closing my winners too early. Believe it or not, that's hurt me way more. Main reason because I'm a one-shot, one-kill trader. So my trades typically are 120 pips, but I'm closing them at 25 pips. So you can imagine, it simply doesn't make sense. And I take about 3 to 2 trades a week. So I'll be my own judge. And I put myself out here for you guys to judge, and hopefully for you guys to learn from, and not necessarily make the same mistakes I make, because I know this isn't an issue that's being talked about. Perhaps others aren't having it, but I know for me, this is something I've struggled with for months and months, and it's hurt me a lot. So thank you for watching today's video. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Saturdays for me are usually miserable because the markets seem to be so far away. But Sundays are good. I get to watch NFL football and relax. And the market's open on Sunday, so it gives me hope for the next day. But I'll try to have a good Saturday, and I hope you guys do the same.